Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day it is, wherever you are. Welcome to Wednesday's Crypto Blast. It is Wednesday, the 14th of May, all day. You join myself and Cam from Institutional Fi, where Cam will be giving the ultimate rapid fire update on crypto markets, pricing flows, market moving news, etc. We try and keep it crypto, quote, air quotes, crypto with a tie on. It's the more kind of the serious side of crypto. So even though Fartcoin does make an appearance, we try and restrict that for my sanity more than anything else. But before Cam cracks on, I will get the legals out the way. As usual, nothing discussed in this space session constitute trading or investment advice or infers any kind of endorsement by PIQ. Myself, Ryan Paisley, obviously Cam O'Connor, and indeed Institutional Fi. So Cam, how are you?
I'm all right, Ryan. An outside broadcast today. No shoes,
Oh,
no
stop it.
shirt,
I
no
wondered if you were going
problem.
to mention this. Yes, I'll spoil it for you. Cam is currently poolside, giving us the lowdown whilst we slave away,
As it should be. As it should
as
be.
it
No.
should be. To be fair, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you got me.
Oh yeah. No, not too bad. How are you?
I'm all right, although I was just trying to pass my number on to a friend or a potential large business acquaintance, and I messed my number up about 4 times, and it was a guy at the CME. And he's just messaged me to say, quote, "Hey twat." So yeah, that's how my day's going.
Awesome. That sounds
That's
great.
my life.
What an introduction.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway,
All
right.
right.
Let's move on quickly because I'm going to cut myself otherwise.
100%, 100%. Let's move on and move past that comment. All right. The crypto market update. We're starting with Bitcoin. So Tuesday ended up trading within the previous day range, reaching lows of around $101,500. But BTC managed to reclaim some ground to close the day above the 104 mark. And then BTC sits just 0.3% lower at $103,700. Looking across to Ethereum, Ethereum ran into its 200-day moving average yesterday, topping out around 2750. And the question now is, can the bulls take ETH over that 200-day? This would also bring ETH back above a previous support range in February. It did eventually fail, as we all do know, but it was quite a strong support range. So it'll be interesting to see if they can do so as we head into the back half of this week. Moving down the market cap list, Solana is trading at $180, XRP trading at $2.60, BNB is trading at $656 dollars, not cents, because that would be very,
Oh
very
God,
cheap.
Jesus!
Um,
What happened?
give everybody a heart attack there.
Yeah.
Right. And also, if we should cover the Bitcoin and Ethereum spot ETF flows for the 13th of May, Bitcoin saw $91.4 million flow out on a net basis, and Ethereum saw a nice little bump of $13.5 million flow in to their ETF products. So, capturing some of the news highlights that happened over the last 24 hours, we'll kick things off with VanEck's VBILL Treasury Fund that launched on the Ethereum, Solana, and Avalanche BNB chain, tokenizing short-term US Treasury investments, allowing crypto-native firms to access traditional finance assets on-chain with a minimum buy-in of just 100,000 US dollars. But note that the minimum buy-in for Ethereum is widely different. It's a million US dollars. So it's clear here that who the audience that they're targeting with this
Yeah,
fund.
yeah.
Yeah, just continuing on that, this move reflects a growing trend of integrating, traditional finance with decentralized finance as US Treasuries gain traction in crypto. VanEck, a major Bitcoin ETF issuer, is leveraging the blockchain interoperability via the wormhole bridge to bridge these ecosystems together. So hopefully, all things going smoothly on the back end. We saw an 8K filing to the SEC from Cantor Equity Partners yesterday, detailing their merger with 21 Capital, a Bitcoin-focused company backed by Tether, which acquired over 4,800 BTC for just a little under 500 million US dollars yesterday, reflecting a price of approximately around $95,300 per Bitcoin, higher than the 93.7 price mark that was reported by Reuters on the 23rd of April,
Reuters,
indicating
Reuters,
Reuters,
Reuters.
Reuters,
Oh,
Reuters, blah, blah, blah,
it
blah,
would
blah.
it really did make me laugh. It wouldn't be a
I
crypto
know.
class without you butchering the pronunciation at some point.
Right, as heard on Reuters on the 23rd. Do you feel better, Ryan? Do you feel
Well,
better?
well, mate, considering I've got a distribution license with them, I think I better get those names right.
No, 100%. You are correct. I feel like I need to go to sleep with just Reuters playing on in the background every night in some headphones or something. Get it in my
Please,
head.
please.
So this, of course, indicated that they paid a premium for their strategic positioning, but they likely went to. We have to assume this. They likely went to an OTC counter, um,
Right,
or
yeah.
OTC desk to get this, and which, of course, they would have paid a premium for the Bitcoin. Um, 21 Capital is also led by Jack Mullers and aims to maximize Bitcoin ownership per share and build Bitcoin native financial products, as stated in their April 23rd announcement on Cantor.com, and position itself as a public vehicle for institutional Bitcoin exposure amid growing mainstream adoption. And as we noted earlier, Tether and SoftBank are major stakeholders with over $3.6 billion added in there. So SEC delays a decision on BlackRock's in-kind redemption plan for its Bitcoin ETF, similar to the delay that we saw just the other day with the BlackRock's Ethereum ETF, ETH, that we did go into detail yesterday about.
Yes, indeed.
Another news story here from Thailand. Thailand plans to issue around $150 million worth of G tokens within 2 months. This is a story per Bloomberg. Thailand's finance ministry plans to issue 5 billion. I'm never going to pronounce the currency there, but 150
Bart,
is around
Bart. There you go.
Baht. There we go. I was close. I was close. Government work.
Mate,
Um,
to be honest, you were unsure about that one, and you were far closer than Reuters, which you were really confident on.
Yeah, well, we'll skip past that.
Yeah.
So, like we said, it was around 150 million US dollars in digital investment tokens. They're called G tokens. So, if you were confused as to what a G token is, so these are going to be released within 2 months, as approved by the Thai cabinet. The initiative announced by the finance minister aims to raise public funds under the government's budget borrowing plan, offering higher returns than bank deposits. Unlike traditional bonds, G tokens are not classified as debt instruments, and they aim to make government bond investment accessible to smaller investors with a low entry cost. So there we go. On May 13th, Robinhood Markets Incorporated announced an agreement to acquire WonderFi, so Wonder Financial Technologies Incorporated, a Canadian leader. I always go to say Canada, which is a meme,
Yeah.
so I'll try not to say that. A Canadian leader in digital asset products for approximately 250 million Canadian dollars. What is that? It's around 179 million US dollars in an all cash
What's
deal.
that in real money? Tell me in real money.
Yeah, tell me in real money. Although if you've ever felt a US dollar, it's basically monopoly money. Let's be honest.
Yeah, yeah, I'm
Um,
with you.
so WonderFi operates two of Canada's largest. I keep going to say Canada, but I'm not, and I need to just stop addressing the fact that I'm almost saying something that I've not said. I'll start over again. Apologies to the audience. Hopefully, this is why you're here, just to hear me butcher people's language across the
Yeah,
world.
right.
And if you're not, I'm not sure what else you're getting out. I'm joking, of course. Right, so we'll start again. WonderFi operates two of Canada's largest standing regulated, keyword regulated crypto platforms, BitBuy and CoinSquare, managing over 2.1 billion Canada dollars in assets under custody. The acquisition offering WonderFi shareholders around 33 cents, again Canadian per share, a 41% premium over the May 12 closing price and a 71% over the 30-day volume weighted average, aims to expand Robinhood's global footprint, leveraging Canada's growing crypto market. So, and also, there goes on to say a little bit more that they plan to keep everybody at WorldFi and introduce more stuff. So Robinhood obviously got into this acquisition quite comfortably. The fact that they can continue to grow Canada's
Well,
market with
yeah,
digital assets.
that's a good point, actually. It's not like they've just basically bought it for the customers and bought it for the tech. They actually want the team as well, which, if you were an existing employee, is very, very nice to hear, I guess.
Yeah, 100%. You'll be sweating when you realise that Robinhood's
Yeah,
bought you, and then you're like, oh no, all right, I'll say my goodbyes now. I'll get my little
yeah,
box out.
exactly that. Do I get a cake when I leave?
You have to share a cupcake.
Yeah.
Right. So moving on to a slightly different area, going into the US organization, US Senator Kathy Lumans urged the Treasury to exempt unrealized crypto gains from a Biden era tax rule. They say unfairly burdens US companies. The 2022 corporate alternative minimum tax, the CAMT, combined with the new FASB accounting rules, could force firms to pay taxes on digital assets they haven't sold. Obviously, big red flag if you're wanting to invest in digital assets, there, not wanting to pay gains that you've not had. The letter
Yeah.
follows a wave of pro crypto actions under President Trump, including his April repeal of the IRS's controversial DeFi broker rule. Um, so yeah, I think obviously that's we could probably assume that that will happen. But obviously, as of yet, nothing official has happened regarding that. So if you're a corporation holding BTC, you might potentially be having to pay unrealized gains, which I think for companies that hold a massive amount of Bitcoin or other digital assets, like we read yesterday. Some people are adding Trump meme coin to their treasury, which you can be the judge of that as the listener, whether that's a good or
Yeah.
bad thing. I'm not here
Well,
to put words down.
I'll be honest. I think taxing unrealized gains is absolutely, pardon my French, or I don't know why I said that because I swear a lot regardless. Taxing unrealized gains is fucking retarded. Pardon my use of language there, but it really is. It just there's no upside apart from like a cash grab. There's no upside. You're going to drive people to be. You're going to drive people to try and be hiding more money away from the IRS. It, it just or you're going to make people move abroad in like a flight
Well,
of a
that's it.
capital flight. I just
That's
don't
it.
understand it. And the thing is, when you consider who it will be impacting, it yeah, any long-term investor is going to get penalized for investing. Yeah, it's utterly ridiculous. But anyway, sorry for my use of language there. But there you go.
Well, that's
Also,
okay. You're absolutely right. Go
also,
on. To add
what's a
on, go
gain?
on.
What's unrealized gains? What you could make money.
Yeah. We're not going to tax you on real gains.
I'll
Uh,
tell you what, look, if they're going to give a rebate for unrealized losses, then I'm all for it. But until then,
Yes. Let me just spam the buy and sell button now and
right,
pray
yeah.
for the
I mean,
best.
if they want to, reward me for my or refund me for all my all my unrealized losses, yeah, bring it on. I'm there for it. I've got a long list of long-term investments that I can give you.
And for that very reason, we may see that rule change in the US Treasury
Right.
policy. Right, and then lastly from me is this kind of a point of interest. I saw XRP futures open interest surge by over $1 billion in the past week. It rose from around $2.4 billion to over $3.4 billion, which is around a 41.6% rise. And this is ahead of CME Group's XRP futures launch on May the 19th.
Ooh.
So I think that's a good point to kind of end
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
crypto blast on.
Absolutely. Well, Cam, thank you as always. Please make sure there's a lifeguard on duty. I know you're poolside. I'm available. If as long as I can touch the bottom, which would have to be the shallow end. Listeners, thank you as always for tuning in, especially all of you guys that kind of play this back on the replay. I do really need to find a few extra hours in the day and start putting these up as a proper podcast. And I will get round to that. But yeah, whatever you're doing today, stay safe, keep it tight, and we'll see you all tomorrow. Much love.
Much love. When you find those extra hours, can you let me know?
Yeah, I will do, mate. I'll sell them. Unless they're unrealized gains, in which case, fuck them. But yeah, goodbye.
Goodbye.